Okay, so I'm working on this. I actually did a live stream earlier today showing some troubleshooting, and I've actually stepped back a little bit and gone to the previous card. Now, this is the A4 board, and let's just bring this down a bit like this so you can see a bit better. And actually, I need to adjust it small so you can see everything, hopefully. Right, focus. Right. I'm using a new camera, so it's a little bit different. It may do weird focusing stuff. I'm not sure if it's any better or not than the phone. I'm undecided as of yet. We'll see how we go. If the quality is not as good as the phone, I might end up having to change what I'm doing, but we'll see. Anyway, so this is the A4 board on the risers, obviously. I want to do some voltage checks on it. I've already had a little bit poke around and got an idea what's going on, so I was going to show you what I've been doing. I haven't found any faults yet. I'm just showing you the troubleshooting on this particular board. So it's supposed to be in capacitance mode, which you hope you can just see in the bottom of the screen there. Auto ranging, range holding off, 1 volt, DC bias off, 1 kilohertz internal triggering. That's the test sequence. Now these terminals should be open, and I should be able to do voltage measurements across these transistors here, these ones here, for the various parts. Now if I go across, I should be able to find it's 2.9 volts in that one. Let's just go it up a bit too high, drop it down a bit. So that's 2.9 volts on that one, as per the service manual, correct. Should be minus 11 or something. Let's go a bit further out. I think it's supposed to be minus 11.8 or something like that. It's 11.5, minus 11.2, minus 11.2, minus 11.2. Right, so that is as per the manual. Right, so that seems okay. If I make this jump through all the ranges, you can see these pulsing on and off. Right, so what I might do is just show the tweezers in the front there just to short it out. So it's jumping through ranges. See, it's jumping around there. Right, so if I go to roll mode, and see what it's doing. Okay, so it's jumping through that one there. That one there does occasionally, it's not as often, depends on which range it's running on. Did I get anything from that one? I did get something from that one before when I was playing around with it. That's a staying low for some reason, but you can see it's a little different. So we've got a series mode, then that one changed in. So that's now high. So it is changing states. As it re-triggers. That's when I'm shorting and opening the terminals, it's doing that step. So those all seem to be switching, the voltages look correct. So that's at least something. We've got a window view on here. Yes, I do. Here we go. Hi. So the parts I was testing just then are these ones here. Okay. So I might just turn my face off. You don't need to see that, might you, do you? So bring this up a bit so you can see that. Here we go. So that's these measurements I was doing just then. So I can see all these switching. And now the other bit I was looking at was these FETs here and this one here, and the pass through to pin 6L. So if I actually go and measure pin 6L, it tells me if all of these are working, or any of them are working even. You can even say that. So that's what I'm going to do now. So let's just go back to that. And we'll have a look. So pin 6L is right there. And right now there's nothing going on. So if I just go back and auto, and I'll short those terminals out again. can see it's jumping around. So there is a pass through there of the signals. Stick in parallel mode, it stays stable. Series mode, it's jumping around like you'd expect. So that appears to be working. There's definitely something passing through there, so I'm pretty sure that that section is actually right. So we'll come back up to this. So that means that this lower section, which is the low side of the unknown terminal, this appears to be working correctly. The voltages I've checked are there. I've already verified this Zener diode right here, which is right in the middle of the screen right now. That gives a 3 volt output here. That's working correctly. So this op amp here, I'm getting absolutely nothing. I'm not seeing any voltages at all on this, but then it is the low side, and so I didn't try it with shorted input actually. I should have a look at that. Let's have a look at that now, shall we? Let's get the camera back so you can see what I'm doing. So I was looking for pin 2, 3 and 6, and 6 actually comes up to these diodes up here. So let's go to pin 2, which is right there. Short terminals out. Nothing. 3. Nothing. 6, which goes up to these diodes. There you go. So if I open the terminal, there you go, it's shorted now. There's a signal there. So that appears to be working. Right, so that looks fine too. So the 2 transistors which are replaced on this card, which I've mentioned, is that one there and this one here. They are part of the oscillator section, switching between 1 kHz and 120 Hz, and all that area, which is in here. Okay, so that appears to be working okay. So I don't think that those replacements there are an issue. I shouldn't have got replaced. I mean, they might have just been resoldered, but yeah, it seems to be working in that area. So I can't fault this card. It seems to be okay from what I can see. So I might move on from that one. After the live stream today, I've got my head around some bits. So I went back to that troubleshooting chart, which showed the diagnostic process, and it mentioned about period measurements for the actual waveforms, and I went through and tested those, and it helped me to narrow it down a little bit where there could be a potential problem, and it narrowed it down to U5, U6, U7 as not correctly dividing, because the frequencies I'm getting are twice as high as they should be. The period is half as long, so therefore the frequency is twice as high. Now that reminded me that U5, I was getting a frequency twice as high as I was expecting. So I thought, well, that's probably related to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out U5, I'm going to swap it. So U5 is this chip right here, and I've got some sockets and a replacement chip. So I'm going to take that IC out, and we'll see if that does anything. I'll also cover this in again. I'm going to do another live stream in the morning, which you would have seen by now before, because I'm recording this video and it's going to be released later. Yeah, anyway, so let's get this out of here, and we'll take that chip out, which is this one right here, and see how we go. Where's my solder gone? Here it is. So let's go put some fresh solder on these legs to help them make them easier to desolder. Helps it to flow. I don't want to disable the. I don't want to cut the legs off the chip, which is one way of doing this quite easily. You know, you just do one leg at a time. Then, if you had the proper tool like I've got here, the desoldering iron, it makes getting parts out a lot easier. Not foolproof, but easier. So, unfortunately, when I use that desoldering iron, it's getting a little bit noisy.
So sorry about that, but I'm afraid it's unavoidable. It's a noisy piece of gear. Nice, it's fresh solder on all those. Hopefully that'll help it to work a little bit better. As you can see in the screen over there, I'm showing the circuit diagram. So U5 is the two flip-flops. U5A, U5B. It's like right over there, sort of down there. There you go. Right. So those are the parts I've got to take out. Well, the part I've got to take out. So sorry about the noise, guys, but it's going to get noisy. Right there. Let's go. Gone quite right, that one. Problem with double-sided boards, they're a bit hard to get the heat right through the board to desolder both sides at once. Because what can happen is if it's not detached properly from the other side, as you lift the part, you grip the trace off. So you have to be really careful. You don't force anything. You just let the part fall out. Doesn't help I've actually got the wrong size tip on this. I've got a massive tip, so it's makes it a bit harder to get them undone, but it gives me more flexibility. Okay, let's see if that's ready to fall off or not. I can still see a bit of solder on those pads. Let's just give it a bit of a nudge and see if it wants to move. Nothing yet. So the trick to this is just get the pins and just give them a wiggle. And you'll find the ones which are detached and not detached. Not detached. Not detached. Not detached. Not detached. Not detached. I'm not doing very well with this, am I? All of them are still stuck on. Oh, I think that one's starting to go. That one's off, barely. That one's off. That one's off now. That one's off as well, I think. Yeah, they're not done very well. Not happy with that result actually. I have to say I'm really not happy with that result. Sometimes you can wiggle them and they'll break off. Just breaks the solder joint. But again, you mustn't pull up off the board. If you mustn't force it off the board, because you'll, in an attempt to break the solder joints, because that will end up biting you in the arse. Believe me. Even wiggling, it's pushing a little bit. No, it's a little too stuck. I think that one's just come off. That's well and truly on there still. So's that one. That's free. That's free. That's free. That's free. So I'm going to have to relook at this again. So good, 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 bad, bad, good. So let's resolder those ones and do them again. These got little lumps on the end, so I get those little lumps off. Okay, sorry about the noise again. I may have to change this tip. That's off now. That's just come off. So I might be able to just rock that part slightly. Maybe. Let's just gently have a little look. Obviously you don't want to put too much pressure on it or you will end up lifting traces. Those don't look right. I think I might have to cut the legs off this part to get this one out. Or we'll do the other technique, which is just to heat the whole bloody thing up with an iron and just melt the whole part out, which is the other way. So I think I might do that. Sometimes you just have to resort to the old ways. So none of these have desoldered properly, so let's just do that. Which you'll just swamp it with fresh solder, put lots of heat into it, and then just gradually push it out that way. Okay, it's not a particularly pretty way of doing it, but it's an effective one. Alright, so you see it's melting all those at once. You can then just sort of start to gradually push it out. Fortunately, solder's going right through the board, so it's coming out the other side. But that's alright, it will sort itself out eventually. That's part of the problem, is that the legs have got like a little foot on them, is like a landing on it, which touches against the top of the board, and because that's touching the board, it's not releasing. Has that moved at all yet? Possibly. You can see all the solder come out the other side there, or maybe you can, I don't know. So we'll see, we go. I'll just keep putting lots of heat into this and I'll try pushing it out. But you can't do this if it's cold. If it's cold, you're going to really regret it. Just a little bit of pressure on there just to help push it out. Has it made any progress at all? Maybe. So this side here is fairly free, but not completely free. Certainly is going to be a pain. Ah dear. Come on. Come out, you little bugger. Might have to increase the iron temperature as well. If I'm going to do it. That's not what I want, is it? Oh, I can't get this to change. I don't know, bloody thing. Right. Let's keep doing this. Eventually we'll get enough heat into it on the move. I think that has dropped down a little bit now. Yes, I think that has shifted now. Yeah, it's definitely shifted now. So what I can now try is doing the other side again and see if I can just get that. Once you get the landing part off, then it should come out. This is being a real pain though. It would have been quicker to cut the legs off, but I want to try and salvage the part if I can, because the part might be alright. So we'll try this. Well, let's see how that goes. Maybe. That's not moving. That's not moving. That is. That's not. That is. Kind of is. Not completely detached. I think it's off now. No, that's not off either. Oh, this is being such a pain. Thing is, you could use hot air, but on these old boards, what can happen is that the fiberglass will just delaminate it and you ruin the board. So I highly recommend do not use hot air on these old PCBs. I found out the hard way once when I was doing a repair. I was trying to do a Fluke 4261A, I think it was. And I was probably about halfway through the repair. I think I've already repaired a few things and I was still working on it, and I was trying to heat up a part to get it out like this, and with hot air, and the board just suddenly just delaminated, and that was it. Screwed it, or it stuffed up all the internal traces. So that's into that. So learn from my mistake. So this is definitely being a pain, isn't it? I don't want to cut the legs off. Right, well, let's just see if I can see any movement. No. I'm going to have to cut the legs off, even though I don't really want to do that. The part I have is a 74HC73, so it's not exactly the same. Which is why I don't want to cut the legs off this part, because if it's too different, it won't work. It may or may not be alright, but the other thing I could do is try soldering from the top and lever it. So let's get some small tweezers. There's lots of different ways of doing this stuff, you know. Cutting the legs off is the easiest way. If you know you're definitely not salvaging the part, if you're definitely not going to keep the part, just do that. Cut the legs off, and just do one pin at a time. Dead easy that way. There we go. Right, chipper's out finally. Right, let's clean this up. I'll put a socket in there. Barely in shot, isn't it? I might have to move the camera slightly. Yeah, anyway, crap happens. Got a couple of pads I need to desolder properly from that one. Yeah, I'm going to see through all of them. It's always important. Oh, I don't know. Right, well, let's get one of these sockets in there. Let's have a grab the right sockets. Right, pin one that way. That's the right one at least. Bent pins, never helpful.
flux on there. Now I'll try and get a nice finish on it. So this little iron's working okay. Probably a bit too hot now actually. Now I'm not trying to do what I was doing before. Got flux burning off. Let's make sure that's bedded down properly. I'm going to turn this temperature down a bit, it's too hot. Go down to 300 again. Should only use enough heat as you need, shouldn't put too much into it. Otherwise you risk damaging the board or lifting traces off and that sort of stuff, it will melt them. So be cautious about that. Here is flux popping away. It's boiling off, which is interesting. But hey, on the plus side, I didn't rip any traces off. That's always a good thing. Right, clean this up. But this is why double-sided boards are a bit of a pain to work on, because of this tendency for one side to suck all the heat away and to have the solder sticking on one side only. You know, it's just, it's what you get. Anyway. Well, the solder joints look mostly okay. One there could be touched up a bit. Yeah, cool, that's better. And the other side, should be able to see the solder by the leads, hopefully. Yeah, all look good. Alright, so we'll drop a new part in, and then we'll try this again. Now it's the original part there. I'm going to put to one side for the time being. And it's got a bent lead. It's interesting. Now, I've done my IC pin straighter in here. Well, let's try that. We'll see if this part works. It may or may not work. Tidy up a bit. Okay. Plug this back into these boards. Come on, there you go. Right. I've still got the jumper wire off. I might just hook that back in to see if it looks normal or not. Or should I wait? No, I'm going to wait and see if I've got a difference in performance. That's 1 microsecond.
That is 7.72 milliseconds. Woohoo! Ooh! Have we made some progress? I think we have. Right, let's pop this jumper back in. Those frequencies have changed. And if that part was okay, they wouldn't have changed. Let's just poke that through. Let's chuck some test leads on it and see if it'll actually measure a capacitor now. Get those out of there. Might be going a bit premature with that change, but here we go. We'll get the leads out from over here. Grab a capacitor, doesn't matter which one. Oh, I think I fixed it. This is a 220 UF cap, 198. That is excellent. Okay, right. If I change frequencies, yep, still getting a reading from that. Parallel. Let's try parallel with that. Didn't like parallel anyway last time. I think it's too big a value. Chuck an auto, see if it will figure itself out. It does. I think I fixed it. Okay, let's try the cap. This is a 270 UF. $236. I mean, obviously it needs calibrating, but I think that's working now. Okay, let's try resistance. I don't have any inductors in here, well, not as such. I've got a transformer. I suppose I could measure a transformer, couldn't I? Let's see, we go with this. This is resistance, 820 ohms. It's reading. Is that just a dirty switch? Let's go 10k, shall I? See what 10k does. 9.9k. Okay, well, let's go down to 1k. It's measuring in ohms. Okay. 100 ohms. Yes. 10 ohms. 13, yeah. 5 ohms. Yes. 1 meg. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, you need 2 thumbs here. 2 thumbs. Right. Some progress. Got the bastard working. Right. Now, as far as accuracy goes, yeah, it isn't, but that's okay. I was suspicious of that bloody flip earlier on today. I was suspicious of that then. Damn it. Should look closer at it. Okay, never mind. Doesn't matter. We have progress. So let's measure some other caps. So I've got a ceramic cap sitting here. Probably can't see it on screen, but I'll try and get it in shot. There you go, ceramic cap sitting. Yeah, I'll do it over this side. So 187 PF. It's 180 PF. That is close. I've got these big leads off it, so it's not helping, is it? Okay, and I've also got this one over here, which is what a was it 10NF or something? I think that's what it was. I was going to use that to replace the one I suspected as being bad or off value by too much. Yeah, that works. Fixed it. Woohoo! Excellent. I need to check inductance. Let's hook it across this transformer, because that should tell us something, shouldn't it? Must be inductance in that transformer, surely. So let's do that. Let's go over here. So, inductance 3.47 henries. That sounds plausible, doesn't it? Change of frequency 4.5 henries. Oh, I've got no idea what it actually is. And resistance 32k, really? Really? Not sure about that. Probably to do with frequency, yeah, because it's AC resistance, I suppose. Inductance. Measuring inductance, really, aren't we? Okay. I can test that with something else, like this LCR meter. And we'll see what this thinks of it too. We'll change frequency to 120 Hertz, that's the same for test frequency. 4.19 henries. If I do 1 kilohertz, 3.6 henries. It's closed. It's bloody working, mate. It's bloody working. Right, obviously I'm happy about this because I've been working on this for some time now. A flip-flop. Who would have thought? A flippy-floppy. Awesome. So, yeah, I at least I've found what it is now. That's a bit of a spoiler for the live stream I'll do in the morning. Obviously it's not a perfect shot, but you know, it does the job. Yeah. Let's do a better short, shall we, actually? .58 milliohms. Well, you're measuring the lead, so entirely plausible. Capacitance, that should give some kind of error, I think. Yeah, at a range, that's fine. Inductance should be 0 as well, or thereabouts. Yep, no microhenries. Yep, it's looking good. I think I can call that fixed. Brilliant. So thank you very much to my Patreon supporters. Much appreciated. If you're interested in supporting me to help me buy items for mailbag or projects to work on, you know, bits of test equipment to repair, that kind of thing, any money goes towards that is helpful, because it is expensive buying test equipment to do repairs on, especially if I'm not actually going to be using it that much, or it's something I could do without. Or, you know, as in most cases, you can do without things. So having a Patreon supporters and people that donate to me via PayPal is very helpful. So if you're interested in helping support me and contribute to the channel, then please check out my Patreon page, my PayPal donation options, which are down in the description down there. Click on the Show More tab, this is down there. So thank you very much for not supporting me, or even giving more support. You know, getting some comments is also good as well. Comments in the videos. Prefer positive comments than negative ones. If you do want to be, you know, give constructive criticism, then please do. I do want to hear what people find annoying or whatever, but do it in a nice way. I don't want to hear shitty comments, because that's just not good for anyone. It just makes me not want to do it anymore. But that's not something I want to go to. I enjoy making videos, enjoy showing what I'm playing around with, and I've certainly been stepping up what I've been doing over the time I've been doing the videos. So it was just originally I was going to video bits of what I'm doing at the time. I was, you know, if I'm working on something, I'll do a video of that and slap it up, which was going to be rather random and erratic. And I've ended up basically turning my life into doing YouTube videos and buying things and trying to create content to keep you guys entertained. So yeah, if you want to support me, that's great. Because that'll certainly be appreciated, because this is an expensive hobby. Catch you later. Thanks for watching. Click the bell icon. Bye.